the Nintendo Wii is one of the biggest consoles ever released. So today I'm going to be going through all of my Wii games and letting you know what I think about each one. My name is James, and I started this channel simply because I love video games. If that sounds like you, please subscribe to my channel so that you can see more videos just like this one. So the way this video is going to look is that I'm going to go through this stack here of Wii games. There's probably 22, 23 games in there, something like that. I didn't count them. I'm going to say something that I like and something that I don't like about each one of these games. We're going to try to keep it brief. And also, for the record, these are just in alphabetical order, whatever order they were on my shelf right there. I should also probably mention that my recording space is a mess right now. I should also probably mention I am not a Wii collector. I don't think I've bought a single game for the Wii since it was like relevant. And that's how we get to this stack of games right here. Anyway, let's get started. All right. First up is Call of Duty 3. And yes, I know I have the GameStop case here. This is the only game that I have the GameStop case for. But what I like about this game is it was the first time that I ever remember being really interested in a mainstream shooter. Previously, I had played like Metroid Prime and a couple other shooters and stuff, but I didn't really get in. But they didn't really have like the mass mainstream appeal that Call of Duty did. And one thing that I don't like about Call of Duty 3 is that I don't think I could tell you a single thing about it if my life depended on it. I don't remember absolutely anything about that game. Up next is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. And this was the first game that actually got me into online multiplayer. And it actually also might have been the last online multiplayer game that I was really into. But I remember actually I did get pretty into trying to grow in this game and try to play it. I played online. I tried to get my rank better. I tried to use different kinds of weapons and see which ones I liked the most. But then a negative thing about this game is that it really solidified that just Call of Duty is not for me. That this is the last Call of Duty game that I played. Up next is Conduit 2. I really loved the first Conduit game. Unfortunately, when I got the second game, I wasn't able to get into it. I don't remember why, but I think it had something to do with having difficulty with the controls. But yeah, that's a shame. Up next is Guitar Hero 3. I love this game. It introduced me to so much music that I still love to this day. But as a kid, I wished that there was an easy mode of the game that did utilize all 5 buttons on the guitar, because as you may know, easy only used the first 3 buttons, and then medium used 4 buttons, and you didn't actually get all 5 buttons until you played on hard. Up next is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. And I don't remember a ton about this game, but I do remember enjoying the dueling and the combat. But I remember the rest of the game being pretty boring. Up next is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. This game was actually my obsession for a while. I remember being so excited for this game, and I got it for Christmas, and I remember being so excited for the game that we ended up going out of town on December 26th or 27th, and I brought my entire Wii and the game with me. And as far as a negative thing, I didn't really come up with anything off the top of my head. I know there's chunks of the game that people don't like because of the hurting the goats and stuff, and then when you're searching for bugs in the dark world or whatever, I know people don't really like that stuff either. I don't remember that stuff sticking out as being terrible, but yeah, let's keep going. Up next is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. It's really cool to be able to see the beginning of the Zelda timeline and see how some other stuff kind of went into place. My big negative here, I feel like, is the obvious one, which is that I don't like the motion controls, especially as a 30-year-old man. Up next is Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games. This must have been one of the very last games that I bought. And when I was making this video, I didn't come up with anything positive to say about it. It has a cool yellow case, but the negative is that I don't think this game's very fun. It might have been a little bit more fun if you played it with other people, but I never had any friends, so I played it solo, and it was not fun. Up next is Mario Kart Wii. All right, this is my Mario Kart. When I think of like the most fun that I've ever had playing Mario Kart, this is the game that I think about. I never owned Mario Kart 64, and the ones that came after this, like Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I was a little out of Mario Kart at that point, but this is really my Mario Kart. And then my biggest complaint with the game would probably be that I think that when you're playing as a group, if you have one person using the Wii Remote to steer and one person using the button controls just make the game like so much easier that it makes it kind of unfair. Up next is Metroid Other M. And this one, I like that Nintendo was kind of trying some new stuff, especially with Metroid. Previous to this, my only experience with Metroid was Metroid Prime, so I was in for quite a shock. And then my big gripe with this game would probably be just the way that Samus is portrayed. Not my Samus. Up next is Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. I like this one. This one is a really solid game. I liked that they were using the motion controls in different ways, letting you interact with stuff in your ship, all that good stuff. And I think that this is a really good conclusion to the Prime trilogy. My big gripe with the game would probably just be that I think it's very easy. I would even probably go as far to say that it is too easy. Up next is Monster 4x4 World Circuit. I don't remember this game being very good. I remember liking that it used the Mario Kart steering, but overall, I would say that this game is actually pretty forgettable. I don't think that the different courses and stuff had much variety to them. And fun fact, actually, that I just learned by reading the back of the case here is that this game had Rocket League in it before Rocket League was Rocket League, and it called it Monster Soccer, which, yeah, so that's cool. Up next is My Sims Kingdom. And one thing I like about this game is that when I was playing it as a kid, it was fun and it was palatable, and there were lots of cool characters and fun outfits and different like storylines and stuff. One thing that I remember not liking about the game is that there was that when I was trying to max out the like friendship with every single character, there was one character that was like impossible to max out the friendship with. Up next is Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. And as a kid, I remember really thinking that this game was like cleverly written and that the way the characters were written was in line with their portrayals in the movies, which I enjoyed, being a big fan of Pirates of the Caribbean. But the big downside of this game is that it really is just like a low budget movie tie-in game, and I don't think it's very good. Up next is Star Wars The Force Unleashed. And one thing I really like about this game is that there's a specific point in the story that I won't spoil where you get to make a decision, and that decision will stay with you for the rest of the game and actually ends up changing the ending. And what I don't like about this game, specifically on Wii, is that the Wii version of this game is apparently really bad. And I didn't know that actually until probably pretty recently. I learned that the Wii version of this game is the worst version of the game. And you can look up that on your own, though. Up next is New Super Mario Brothers Wii. I think this game is great. I think this is a really fun multiplayer game. Big thing that I don't like about this game is that the platforming specifically is like really slippery, and it can make it kind of hard. You're probably thinking that I have a lot of really bad games on Wii. We're about to get to a few good ones, 4 good ones, and 1 still bad one. Up next is Super Mario Galaxy. Obvious one here is that I think the physics is really cool. This is a 3D Mario game, so it's pretty great. But I liked what they were able to do with the physics system and how you're able to just kind of revolve around the planets and stuff. I don't like that the fire and ice power-ups, my two favorite power-ups, are on a timer. And so you can only use them for like 20 seconds at a time. Up next is Super Mario Galaxy 2. Let's see. And one thing I like about this game that was not present in the first game was Yoshi. And I didn't like the hub world in the second game. I felt like the Starship Mario, the one that was like shaped like his head, was a step backwards from the big ship that you have in the first game. It was kind of boring. There wasn't really much to do, and it wasn't interesting to explore. Up next is Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And this might be a hot take. I really like the Subspace Emissary, but I didn't like that this game felt like a lot slower than the Smash Bros. Game that came before it. Up next is Wii Play Motion Plus. I'm pretty sure I bought this game because it came with a Wii Motion Plus controller. I couldn't tell you anything about it. I don't remember anything about it. I don't remember it being good. I don't even know if I played it. Yeah, and then after that, the final Wii game that I need to talk about here is the very obvious one, which is Wii Sports. And this one, I really liked that it had huge mass appeal. It was fun for all types of audiences. You could play it with your grandma, you could play it with your kids, you could play it with your college roommates. But the big downside for Wii Sports is probably that it's not very fun to play by yourself. And that's all my Wii games, guys. That is all I have for today. In the comment section, please let me know what your favorite Wii games are. Until next time, the best place to keep up with me is right here on YouTube. Thanks, guys.